Okay, true confession time, everyone. Have you been saying yes to everybody who swings by and says hello to you? Let's connect on LinkedIn. Or perhaps you've been focusing on that coveted plus 500 number status symbol on LinkedIn and not who or whom you're connecting with. Well, our guest today, she is not about the numbers. She is about the connection. Who are you connecting with on LinkedIn? And how can you leverage those connections to drive results for your business? Oh boy, let me tell you, this is something she says that I think is very important. She advises folks to only accept or invite people into your network that you personally know, like folks you're going to meet today. If you can't pick up the phone and ask your contact for an introduction, then do not connect with that person. I love that advice. You entrepreneurs, welcome to the Possibility Partners Show. I'm your host, Ande Lyons, your Chief Possibility Officer, and I love sharing Andelicious advice for entrepreneurial adventurers right here in Google Plus Hangouts on Air. And these are conversations with seasoned entrepreneurs and experts, all sharing their best advice to help you and your business grow and thrive. And I'm so honored and thrilled you've tuned in. I'm waving to all the live viewers. How are you? Mwah, mwah, mwah. So grateful that you're here and tuning in and sharing your delicious energy with us today. And to the replay viewers. Oh my gosh, the fact you're taking time out of your life to tune in and grab this great information, you're doing you and your business a huge service. Thank you, thank you. And to all the new subscribers and viewers, here's a big old honkin' heartfelt hug and a mwah. It's so nice to meet you all, and thank you, too, for bringing your delicious energy to the Possibility Partners Show. I would love to stay connected with you, and we're going to find out how to do that more on LinkedIn today. But you know, those who return to the show and watch the show frequently, you know where you're going to find me hanging out at the Twitter bar, and that's at Ande Lyons. And if you'd like more tips, tools, and resources to help your business grow, to enhance your entrepreneurial adventure, I invite you to please visit my website, andelyons.com. And to keep tuning into the Possibility Partners Show, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Andelicious Advice. See, it's all easy breezy to stay connected, right? Yay! So today, oh my gosh, I am so excited to introduce you to a phenomenal woman I happened to meet through a connection of mine who I happened to meet several years ago through another connection of mine. It's just lovely about the whole online world, right? How the different threads connect us. And this woman is a speaker, a connector, and she is one of the most glowing goddesses filled with phenomenal, delicious energy. I know you're going to love the show today. Please join me in welcoming the oh so divinely delicious Laura Virili. Welcome, Laura, to the show today.
Thank you so much for having me, Ande, and thank you for all of you who have taken the time out of your busy schedules to tune in. I promise you this will be a fun-filled time loaded with great information.
Well, I've been following you. I met you recently through our mutual connection, Neil Wood. Hi, Neil. And it was such a treat to meet you because I've been looking for someone who can really talk about LinkedIn in a way that resonates for entrepreneurial adventurers. And you have that. But before we dive into leveraging our LinkedIn network, share a little bit about your background with the viewers because you've been connecting folks since the day you were playing dolls. I mean, you didn't just introduce your dolls to each other, you had them, meeting up all over town. So how did that start off for you, Laura?
I did have my dolls meeting up all over town. However, they weren't promiscuous. Uh, no promiscuous connecting dolls. Um, I have really had the entrepreneurial spirit within me. I think you're born with it. It's part of your DNA. And I really needed to just stoke that fire. However, I found myself in corporate for many, many years, and I just kept hearing that voice, you need to spread your wings, you need to step over that line. And one day I did exactly that because that voice got louder, the desire got bigger. I stepped over that entrepreneurial line, and it's been the best decision. I've been able to spread my wings and really be able to connect with people in ways I never thought possible. And that grows exponentially because I'm doing what I love and I'm connecting with people and I'm giving, and that just becomes addictive.
Right. It certainly does. I can feel your joy of being, unfettered in how you
Yes.
reach out. But speaking of unfettered, you tend to focus on the industries that are hugely shackled, gagged, and bound from playing on social media, the financial advisors, attorneys, accountants. Why did you choose this particular field to focus on?
Well, the reason why I chose that field is because that's where I grew up professionally. Right out of school, I went to school to be an accountant. Right out of school, I started at Merrill Lynch, and I've climbed my way through the marketing jungle gym at Merrill Lynch and some other of their competitors. I've left and have gone back several times, and it just happened organically and it happened naturally. However, I love them. I find them fascinating as individuals. They're smart. Um, they're also entrepreneurs. You know, the financial advisor is truly,
Absolutely.
absolutely an entrepreneur, as is an accountant and an attorney. And so I could connect with them on that level. And knowing that they do have these shackles, I always like to figure out workaround solutions. So I will brainstorm with them and we will figure out workaround solutions on how to highlight their best attributes and really optimize their LinkedIn profiles to let them shine online, because that's now your first impression to the world. People are Googling you, and what do they find when they Google you? Hopefully they find an optimized LinkedIn profile, because we Google everything. We Google plumbers. Of course we're going to Google a financial advisor, an attorney, or an accountant.
Absolutely. And you took your engaging, delicious personality and you fine-tuned your speaking skills. How has that been for you? And was it hard to become a speaker?
It was not difficult to become a speaker at all. Again, I think it's part of who you are. And early on in my career, I had a mentor by the name of Sue Squires Longo, and she noticed my desire to entertain and educate. And once she noticed that, she made it happen. And I got on that stage in front of financial advisors, and I never wanted to leave because I was able to deliver a message and connect with the audience at that scale and feed off of their energy. It was just intoxicating and addicting. And I said, this is my home. Don't take me off stage.
And
And
I'm sure people are saying the same right back to you, Laura, going, I could watch you all day. Thank you. Thank you for educating and entertaining in such a delicious way.
it really is a fine art. And I've just fine-tuned my skills over the years. I've taken courses and workshops and intensives with acting coaches and different venues like that. So it's you always have to fine-tune your skills.
Well, I always ask our guests, is there something that they do, like a daily practice, whether it's personally or professionally? I mean, you had us doing our little la 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 voice exercises today before we went live. But are there other things, or is there one particular practice that helps you with your state of mind, state of body, state of environment?
Yes, there is, and that is exercise. I find that we need to move our bodies. Our bodies want to move, and with technology, we tend to be sitting a lot, and we can get sucked into the black hole, and hours can go by. So I make sure that I exercise every single day, and when you do exercise, you change your breathing. And when you change your breathing, you get different thoughts that come to you. And you feel different. And you leave the gym and you have a whole new set of energy. And you're able to tackle the day and really bring it to those that need you.
It really does work. I don't know about anybody else, but yeah, it's a strong arm moment to get me down to the gym. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. And I get down there and I get the music going and I'm like, oh yeah, oh yeah. I mean, seriously, even a naturally enthusiastic person like me can struggle getting to the gym and struggle having the positive or strategic thoughts that we need to be successful as entrepreneurs. So thank you for bringing that up, Laura. Folks, how amazing is Laura? Come on. You're going to want to link in with her. She has her LinkedIn link is in the event invitation. It's also in the archives there for you. Ping and tell her you saw her here on the Possibility Partner Show. I know she'll want to learn more about you and connect with you. And you can learn more about Laura at Laura Virili, and that's just how her name is spelled, Lauravirili. Did I spell that right? .com. Anyway, all of those links will be in the archives. And before we dive in, as I said earlier, to learn how to leverage our LinkedIn connections, please remember the Afterglow chat. What a wonderful opportunity to have a personal, up-close conversation with other entrepreneurs and to build your online credibility and visibility. So we invite you, live viewers, to please click on the green room link at the end of the show. I'll be posting it there, and join us. We don't care about hair and makeup because it's not recorded. You can leave your video off and we can just hear your delicious voice, but come in, introduce yourself, connect with people. We've had folks come on the show and build amazing strategic alliances from the Afterglow chat alone. Okay, guys, so enough said there. Let's go, Laura. Let's talk about where we want to begin on LinkedIn. I mean, do we need to start with reviewing our profile? I mean, what do you usually tell folks?
That is a great question. I always talk to folks and tell them there is 3 pillars to LinkedIn, and that is your picture, your summary, and your connections. And ironically, those are the 3 things that are above the fold on LinkedIn. You want to have a phenomenal picture. And guess what? The Business Insider, they did a heat map study, and they found that that is where the individual's eyes go, and they spend 19% of the time on your picture. And then the rest of it is, throughout your profile. However, you want to make sure that picture is friendly, engaging, you look approachable, and you want it to be business casual. And the reason why is social media is casual, so you want to reflect that. So if you're in business and you're a gentleman, lose a jacket or lose a tie. For a lady, if you wear dresses a lot, by all means, wear a dress. And then the summary, that's where you really differentiate yourself. You have 2,000 characters to really shine. And you're going to talk about yourself in first person because it's just weird to talk about yourself in third person in your summary. And you basically want to say, this is what I do, this is how I do it, this is why I do it. Why do you get up out of bed every day and do what you do? And that's where you humanize yourself, because that's how people are now connecting. They're connecting online first. And then the third pillar is your connections. And it's not a popularity contest. I know we all want that coveted 500 plus, but this isn't high school. We don't need to have a bunch of connections. The connections that you have should be meaningful. Again, you should be able to pick up the phone and call that person and say, hey, Andy, I see you know Neil. How well do you know him? I'd love to be introduced to him. If you can't do that, don't connect. I guarantee you going forward, that connection base will be one of your biggest business assets. It's going to get you in front of the right people.
I love that advice too, especially in the summary, the 2,000 characters. Don't talk in third person. How often do we see, oh, Ande Lyons is a da 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 da? Tell a story, right, Laura?
That's exactly right. And if you're not comfortable telling your own story, hire a professional writer. It's worth every penny. It's not like you're going to be going in every 6 months or every 12 months and changing your summary. You'll go in and tweak it occasionally. Or if you say, oh, you know what, I've got this, I can do that, look at some summaries of individuals that you admire and emulate that.
So if we've been building connections here on Google Plus or on Facebook or on Twitter, how do we transition them to LinkedIn, and do we want to?
Yes and no. So really what you want to do when you're building out your LinkedIn connection base, and that's your first degree connections, is you want to personalize that invitation request. So, for example, I met Stacy here through Google Plus, and I reached out and connected to him last night on LinkedIn, and I personalized that invitation request. Hey, so nice to meet you on Google Plus. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow on the show. If there's anything I could do in the meantime, let me know. Best, comma, Laura. So you want to make sure that you're not just out there grabbing anyone and everyone to connect with. You want to make sure that your connections on LinkedIn are really well thought out and strategic. They can be loose connections as well. I mean, you don't have to be super tight with the individual, but you definitely want to at least know them. You don't want to be promiscuous.
Right. And I love the personal invitation. I'm a yoo-hoo, yoo-hoo Laura, yoo-hoo Stacy, and I do a personal comment, inviting them to be connected with me, what it is about them that I think is fascinating, wishing them joy, love, and laughter with their adventures. And inevitably, they come back as a wonderful human in a conversation. We've begun the connection. And if there's a chance for me to make someone smile in my connection, that's right, Shannon Hernandez, Shan the man. It's my pleasure and it's my honor to, gift and bring that level of energy and connection and personal touch to the LinkedIn experience. So now we've got our connections. How do we, create pipelines? How do we tag? Like, what's the whole procedure?
That's exactly right. So before we move on to that, I just wanted to let you know I've created a nice little guidebook for everyone that has joined us today. So Andy will have the link to that, and it will have everything that we were talking about in that handy dandy guidebook, just for the
Thank you,
viewers.
Laura. Thank you, Laura. It'll be in the archives, especially for those who watch the video. So thank you. I can't wait to watch. So, okay, go on.
You are so welcome. So LinkedIn actually has a phenomenal feature that not a lot of people know about, and it is a bit wonky. I do have a video about it on YouTube, so you can certainly watch it. I have step-by-step screen captures. I take you live on LinkedIn. And what that is you're creating a pipeline by tagging people. And what you want to do is when you land on their profile, and guess what? You don't need to be connected to them. You don't need to be a first-degree connection of theirs. It could be a third degree. But if it's someone that you want to put in your pipeline, what you do is you tag them, and underneath their profile picture on LinkedIn, there's a little star. And if it doesn't show up, hit refresh on your keyboard to refresh that page. The star will appear. You click on that, and now you have added them as a contact. They don't know you've done this. And on the right-hand side is something called tag, and you can create a custom pipeline. So let's say, for example, I'm a CPA and I wanted to connect with 5 financial advisors out there. I would look at their profiles, I would tag them, and I would put them under the financial advisor tag. And then I'd have a custom pipeline built just of those individuals. I'm not getting clouded by anyone else, just those individuals.
See, I love that. My husband's coming off a whirlwind trip for a client. And when the time is right to link in with the folks that he met, we want to put them in a separate category. I didn't know you could do that.
Not only can you do that, when you do add them as a contact, you can add notes to their profile, you can set reminders, and you can say how you met. So let's say, for example, I wanted to follow up with you in a week. I wanted to see if you had any activity, because you might be a hot prospect of mine, and I wanted to follow up in a week. So I could just go into your profile, go into my little notes section, and type in or set the reminder for 1 week. In 1 week, I'm going to get a reminder to look at your profile to see if you've had any activity, and if you've had, what is it, and do I want to react to that? You might have posted an article that I missed, and I want to comment on that because you're a hot prospect. I want to build that relationship, and that's really important for the entrepreneurs, is to stay top of mind, tip of tongue, and really build those relationships. Be the giver. You want to be the giver in the relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The co-giver with Bob. Yeah, this is such great advice. Just like you said, we want to be giving, we want to be showcasing, we want to be connecting and building this relationship and nurturing it. I'm just saying Outlook and Google Calendar, move on over. I am now plugging in to the LinkedIn. Who knew, hashtag who knew, that this was available on this platform? I had no idea. And what I personally like, Laura, about LinkedIn is the professional culture and tonality of this platform. And you talk about it being, of course, business casual, but it's still business. We're here to do business, support each other, connect in a way that we enhance and give and receive, correct?
That is absolutely correct. That is absolutely correct. You want to, there's so much information. Actually, LinkedIn's biggest competitor, or Salesforce's biggest competitor, is LinkedIn, because it's a living, breathing database of information of individuals. And LinkedIn's given you the ability to make basically your own contact management system through adding people to the contacts with that little star underneath their picture.
Oh, they are so smart. So let's talk about advanced searches on LinkedIn, because I'm clueless about how to use that in a way that works.
Absolutely. You know what? It's funny you should bring that up, because it's probably one of the most underutilized features on LinkedIn, but one of the most powerful. And I always encourage people to go in and play with it. You're not going to break LinkedIn. You absolutely aren't going to break LinkedIn, and the amount of information that you could find is incredible. When you do an advanced search, and again, I have a video on this as well with a quick reference guide on my YouTube channel. When you do an advanced search, it depends on who you're looking for. The sweet spot on LinkedIn, especially for entrepreneurs, is that second-degree connection. It's someone that you know. So you and I are first-degree connections. And let's say I'm not connected to Shannon. Shannon would be my second degree connection. If I wanted to get in front of Shannon, I could ask you for that introduction. However, if you want to look at all of your second degree connections, let's say I wanted to look at all my second degree CPA connections, I would go into advanced search. It's on the top black toolbar on LinkedIn. Click on advanced. There's a little box that says first, second, third, and group members. You just simply check off second degree. You go down to industry. There's over 100 industries you can search through, comb through. Check off accountant. You can go over on the left-hand side. You can put in your zip code. I don't want to look at every accountant across the nation. I just want to look at the accountants in the Boston area. I'm going to put in my zip code. I can whittle that down to as tiny as 10 miles or as large as 100 miles, and I hit search. And now I'm going to get a list of all the second degree connections. And this is why it's important to know who you're connected to. Because let's say, for example, I find an accountant that I'm really interested in getting in front of, and again, he's a second degree connection. I click on who does he know that I know that is allegedly my first degree, and I don't know that first degree, then I've lost that opportunity.
You have. And are you talking about the paid premium service with LinkedIn with all of this?
I am not. Everything that I am sharing today is free, in all caps, F-R-E-E, free. You can do so much on LinkedIn for free. However, if you really want to leverage it to the nth degree, and I always tell advisors, financial advisors and attorneys and accountants, when you start using LinkedIn, you start feeling limited, which if you use it a lot, you're going to start feeling limited quickly. That's the time to upgrade to premium because that unlocks a lot more information.
Oh, I mean, it's really a lunch out for two. It's $26 and change a month. It's not that bad. What I love about all of this and this conversation we're having is that a lot of times in social media, I call it hopeful marketing or hopeful networking. And that is you chat with people here on Google Plus, you share, you talk about their links to their wonderful blog posts, et cetera, and you hope that maybe they'll reciprocate. Same thing on Facebook, you have these conversations. But we are not targeting these conversations, even if we've dressed up our website to be branded so that we connect immediately with our target audience. It doesn't mean you're going to if you're not connecting with them properly. And LinkedIn gives us a platform that we can be so fundamental marketing strategies in a way that we reach these people. So often I see online some willy-nilly ways of connecting with people. What you can do on LinkedIn is foundationally what good marketing practices will allow you to do. So I just love it. Now, staying top of mind and tip of tongue, how do we do that?
So happy you are going there because what LinkedIn has recently done is they've allowed anyone and everyone to share, to be an influencer. Basically what that means is LinkedIn has tapped over 500 thought leaders in the industry, varying industries, to share their thoughts and ideas, their experiences in life. Martha Stewart is one, Sally Krawcheck is one, John Thiel, and the list goes on and on. And what LinkedIn has enabled everyone to do now is to act as an influencer, and that is really going to help you stay top of mind and tip of tongue, because what that does is it enables you to write basically it's a blog post. You can write a post and share your thoughts, your ideas, make sure that they're relevant to your audience, make sure that they're well thought out. And once you publish that post, an alert goes out to everyone that you're connected to, saying that you've now published a post, and that will show up in their alerts as well as in the LinkedIn article section in Pulse. I mean, it's opened up an entire new platform for individuals to really get out there in a relevant way and to enable them to differentiate themselves.
That's wonderful. Oh my gosh, I'm going to be going to this handout and going through this and practicing. Seriously, Laura, this is phenomenal information. And I've listened to a lot of shows. I haven't heard it played out like this and shared like this. It's wonderful, wonderful. And let's talk about the art of wow. What does that mean?
Art of wow is the fact that, going back to Bob, the go-giver, you need to be a giver, and you need to listen when people don't think you're listening when they talk to you, because the beauty of being online is you're going to learn about people online and you're going to take that offline. So when you have those offline meetings and conversations, you can weave in beautifully the different bits of information that you've learned about them online. So the art of wow is wowing your clients and prospects with information that you found, not in a creepy way. You don't want to appear stalkerish. However, if you have a client that published an article and it was very interesting, you could bring that up in conversation. That's wowing them. You can use the keep in touch feature on LinkedIn on the top black toolbar, the menu bar, under connections, keep in touch. It will show you 3 things, now 4, we call these social triggers that are happening within your first degree connection to wow individuals. And those are birthdays, work anniversaries, new jobs, and now what LinkedIn has done is, Andy, if you publish a post, that's going to show up in there for me as well. So your posts go everywhere. And what I can do is, if it's your birthday, I can reach out and wish you a happy birthday online. I could send you a cute little cookie or something. Again, it's all about wowing. It's differentiating and really making yourself stand out as an individual, because there's a lot of noise out there today. We are being bombarded in every single direction. So you need to stand out in thoughtful, meaningful, different ways, and that's through the art of wow. You're wowing individuals.
See, and I love that because long ago, when I entered the marketplace, you tried to wow, belly to belly and in person, and that was so difficult. What we're going to do? Hang out at somebody's lobby and stalk them or something? You couldn't do that. Here, LinkedIn gives you the opportunity to wow in a way that feels safe and healthy and honoring and wonderful way to meet somebody. And I know for me, when somebody shares like that, it feels great on my end too. So it's the give and the take that happens on this wonderful platform. So let's talk about my kids' generation, millennials. Oh my gosh, it's a whole new world.
It is a whole new world. And the beauty of LinkedIn is that your kids are more than likely on there, or they will be on there. And it's great to connect to that generation through LinkedIn, because it's not weird in the financial advisor space, for mom and dad's financial advisor to reach out and connect with them on LinkedIn. And it's the same thing for attorneys and accountants, any professional. If you need to connect to that next generation, it is the simplest and easiest way. And now you have visibility into their world. You have visibility into their birthdays, their work anniversaries, their new jobs, and you can reach out and congratulate them. Again, you do it in a professional way. It's not weird, it's not creepy, it's not stalkerish, because LinkedIn is all about professionalism. It's not Facebook, it's all professional. So therefore, what you're doing and communicating with those millennials, and they expect it, this is the norm for them, is very natural.
I love that. So what can financial advisors do on LinkedIn? Because they're so heavily regulated, as are some attorneys and accountants, between the SEC regulations or particular umbrellas that they're under, whether it's American Express Financial Advisors or Merrill Lynch or somebody, or the insurance company that they're working and selling products for. How do you help them, Laura, so that they can engage in a way that they feel that they're meeting their regulations as well as the social media connection regulations?
Well, the beautiful thing is that these firms have compliance departments, and you really do need to follow what the compliance departments have put in place for you. A lot of these firms have have LinkedIn platforms for their professionals that basically put up the guardrails for them and do all the compliance thinking for them. However, some of the folks stay off of these platforms, if you will, to some of these professionals, and you just really then need to do your research, because guess what? There are FINRA violations that these advisors have if they're not on their firm's compliance approved platform, and it's silly. It's really silly not to follow all the rules and regs. And really what you want to do is you want to just make sure that what you're doing and what you're saying and how you're acting online is very professional, because guess what? Clients and prospects are looking, and they could be judging you. They are judging you. Let's be serious.
Right. And it's a wonderful way to leverage your business. Seriously, there are ways to, as Laura has shared, to research, to connect, and to find those ideal customers, ideal clients that would love to work with you, but they don't even know you're out there, and you're just one handshake away from them on LinkedIn. What mistakes do you see people making, Laura, on LinkedIn that really stand out for you?
Well, to back up for 1 second, when someone Googles you, LinkedIn comes up as the first, second, or third result. So you want to make sure that your LinkedIn profile is optimized. In terms of mistakes, I've noticed that someone will put up a profile and they won't touch it. And they'll put up a picture, it's either a selfie or they'll have a drink in their hand or a cigarette, or they've cropped someone out. Make sure your picture is professional. It's a professional networking site. You want your picture to display that. They will just simply copy and paste their resume. That's not what LinkedIn is. You're going from resume to reputation on LinkedIn. You're humanizing yourself. You're connecting with people. If you have your experience on there, which you should, your relevant experience, you want to have a couple paragraphs, not very long, about your experience. You don't want to drone on and on and on. You want to make sure that it's basically leaving the individual wanting more. You want someone to then reach out and connect with you, whether you're looking for a new customer, client, if you're a job seeker, whatever the case may be. You want to make sure it's compelling and interesting, where someone basically wants to engage you and take that relationship offline.
Wow. And even for job seekers, right? In the summary, they can start it off saying, I am seeking.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. There's many keywords they can use that recruiters are looking for. I am seeking, I am looking for a new opportunity, and the list goes on, and they will be found. And the beautiful thing is a lot of people have those skills and endorsements, and what you need to do is make sure you're mindful with those. Showcase your top 10 and demote the rest. And if there's skills that are in there that are not relevant, delete them. And what you can do is, and this is in my guide, is if you want to really pump those up, you can go out and ask people to endorse you for the top 5 skills that you are interested in being endorsed for. And by the way, you're going to ask them, hey, what top 5 do you want me to endorse you for? It's quid pro quo.
I love that advice. And I didn't know that you could demote, because, I don't even know where some of these skills came up, and so can you list them in order that you'd like to see them in the top 10?
You can list them in the order. You can demote some that you still want, but you don't want them to show up in the top 10. You can delete some. You can also, if you have recommendations from individuals, let's say you have more than 2 recommendations, you have, let's say, 5 for one particular position, you can actually order those as well. So if you want 2 prominent individuals in the industry to be showing as your top 2 recommendations, you can do that as well, because you do want to ask people to recommend you for positions that you've been in, because that also helps tremendously. People read those. It means something.
Oh, come on. This is like some of the best advice I have ever heard, and I have never heard it. Seriously. I've listened to a lot of shows over the last 4 years, Laura. I love it. And I really love your tweetable comment about on LinkedIn, you're moving from resume to reputation. And that's why these endorsements are so important. And we often, when we log on to LinkedIn, we'll have some endorsement, like for somebody, these 5 endorsements for so XYZ. Where does LinkedIn get those?
LinkedIn has a beautiful algorithm, because I'm sure you've also noticed outside of the skills, they also recommend people for you to connect with. So it's very secretive, but it's a very big algorithm and big data that they combine, and that's how they serve up this information to you. And you know what? If you feel that you should be recommending that person for those skills, go ahead and recommend them, because it helps, and it only takes you a few seconds to check off those boxes. And if you get those recommendations for those skills, turn around and thank that individual. Again, especially for entrepreneurs, it's staying top of mind and tip of tongue.
Thank you for bringing such polished professionalism to us today, Laura. A lot of times folks get on social media, they're just starting out as entrepreneurs and perhaps have not had the experience of working in corporate, so they don't know the different etiquette rules that really need to happen in what I would say proper engagement online, especially on a platform like LinkedIn. We're very casual and sharing away on Facebook and other places, but you're really educating folks today on a way of engaging that has some elegance and grace to it, as well as honoring and dignity. And I really love it. Thank you.
You're so welcome. You just have to remember you have to always with LinkedIn have your professional foot forward. And 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 there is etiquette to it. From the very beginning, from that first outreach to that making that connection, personalizing invitation request to thanking them. If it's someone that you really are interested in getting to know better, when they accept your invitation request, turn around and thank them. And then maybe a week or two later, set a reminder to check in with them to see if there's any activity to go back and say, hey, I saw that you posted something, or I saw you liked a similar article to what I liked. You might like this, and share the link. And the relationship can be built so quickly. The beautiful thing about LinkedIn is it shortens sales cycles. It solidifies relationships so much quicker.
Oh my gosh. Well, when we started the show, you were very clear about why you love this work, but what do you love most about what you're doing now?
Oh gosh, I love the fact that every single day is different and I get to meet new people, fascinating people, wonderful people, and technology is changing so rapidly. And I absolutely love that because I love change. I think that's when we grow the most, and it's so energizing. And I'm able to help people, and I'm able to help them connect the dots and create that aha moment of clarity. And basically, I give them homework, and they go back and they do their homework and they update their picture and their summary, and they start making the right connections and disconnecting from people they might have connected to in the past and no longer want to be part of their network. And it's the fact that I'm able to help people in a very meaningful way, and that's very fulfilling and gratifying.
I love that. So how can people work for you and what how can people help you expand in your business as well?
Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you. Well, I do coach individuals in terms of optimizing their LinkedIn profile, leveraging it. How do I leverage it now that I'm on and I've done all of my homework? Now, what do I do with that? With this, social media platform, LinkedIn, and then the coaching sessions can continue from there. I also do speaking engagements. I do keynote speeches. I do smaller workshop series. So people can work with me in a variety of ways, and all of that is found on my website as well.
And you've got to watch her YouTube channel. Her videos are phenomenal. And she starts them all off with these crazy fun bloopers. Oh my gosh. And she has the most wonderful producer, Tony, who helps her with her amazing videos. You're just remarkable. I'm so grateful that you came on the show today. Any last thoughts you'd like to share with viewers before we go to the Afterglow chat?
Oh, I do have some thoughts, and that is take the time, carve out the time, make sure that what you have out there online, from LinkedIn to Twitter to Facebook, make sure it's all branded beautifully, it's all professional, and time block. Go on 5 minutes a day and look at what's happening to just stay on top of what's happening in your client's world and in your prospect's world. And I stress time blocking because you can get lost on LinkedIn, you can get lost on Twitter, Facebook, you name it. So be disciplined and exercise.
Oh, good. And I've got a wonderful comment here. Cheryl, this is so true. Thank you, Ande Lyons and Laura, one of the best Hangouts ladies. I admit I am fairly new to LinkedIn. Leads I have received and given mostly by 1, word of mouth, 2, phone, 3, email, all of the above for free. And that's the beauty of LinkedIn. Taking the time to meet and those connections that you've made. It's a wonderful, wonderful platform. At this point in the show, I love to send out a few MUAHs to folks who swung by and said, hey, Ande, I'm going to have to catch the replay. Have a great show. And that, of course, is Phil from One Great Life. He listens to it on his commute every week. Mwah. I'm so grateful to you, Phil. Mwah. Love it, love it, love it. Also, Deborah Oakland, Cherie Valentine, and Frank Gainsford. Oh my gosh, you're so supportive of the show. So many other folks who came by. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I am so honored. Continue to tune in to the Possibility Partner Show. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, Andelicious Advice. The links are always hanging around on my website, on my social media platforms. And as I sign off, I want to remind everybody how much you are doing as entrepreneurs. You are digging deep into major courage and building those courage muscles. And I'm so proud of you. And I'm cheering you on every single day for having the courage to be an entrepreneurial adventurer. Wave Goodbye, Laura.
Goodbye, everyone. Mwah, mwah. Thank you so much for joining.
Oh, and thank you, Laura, for joining us on the show. And thank you for your special handout that we are all going to use, right, folks? And we can all start connecting with each other on LinkedIn and building our reputations as well as leveraging our connections for our business. See you in the Afterglow chat. And I'm wishing everyone an Andelicious day. Bye. Mwah, mwah, mwah.